You know, that's his signature since Gonzaga. And it's so funny they say, you know, Simba Cam, and this is...
At Gonzaga, whenever
Olu
there's a touchdown, every player that gets that touchdown always run to Olu.
They want him.
They want him
my
to lift him up.
God. Oh,
So
my goodness. They love
he continued
that.
the same thing at Penn State too.
Yeah,
So
that's
hopefully
it right there.
we'll be seeing this with the Jets next year.
His full name is Olu Fashanu. And Olu means the Lord has brought us this.
I don't know that there are too many people that you would ask if they really know Olu that don't just automatically smile, you know, that just don't say, man, what a great guy.
We just thank God for him, for who he turned out to be. He busted his ass to be where he is today.
There's so much more that he's going to do. You know, so many more people and so many more moments that lie ahead that are you can trust that will happen for this person.
I think he could become one of the best. I truly do. And he wants to prove everybody that they made a right decision. That's just who he is.
He's literally built to pass set. I mean, he has great hips, huge hands. He slides very, very quickly on the light on his feet. And he's kept getting better, and better. And he's still getting better now. And it's great to see him strive to be one of the best left tackles in the NFL right now.
You want to be able to draft, recruit players that are on the rise. I just felt very, very strongly that this is a guy that's going to be on the rise in the Jets organization for a long time, and he'll continue to find ways to get better.
The New York Jets select Olu Fashanu, tackle, Penn State.
New York Jets.
People say this is cliche. It couldn't happen to a better person. But man, I know a lot of people. There are not a lot of people that are better than Olu Fashanu.
This Olu at the dentist, which he doesn't like going to. Nobody likes that. So one thing about him, Olu doesn't eat candy, doesn't eat anything sweet and so on. So it was just for cleaning, but even that, he dreaded it. He doesn't want to go.
I don't know if you can catch him dancing for here. This was during his uncle's wedding. And that's Angela, and he's dancing on the side, you know, acting all silly, you know. It's one of my favorite when he was little. He and his sister in their African outfit. Sorry, huh? Yeah. The two of them, Angela and Olu.
My dad is a chief in Nigeria, Chief Olu Fashanu, and was part of the core group of Nigerians who fought for the independence of the country. So he was the personal secretary to the first president of Nigeria, and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. So much pride in what my dad did for the country. He was always saying something that he'd rather die poor, but he wants the family name to be held in high esteem. Whenever I go back home, anywhere I go into any government office or any company, and I mention my last name, people always ask me, "Oh, are you Chief Olu Fashanu's son?" If I say yes, anything I want is done for me. So he left a very good legacy for the family.
Growing up, it was me, mom, dad, older sister, just the four of us. It was a great childhood. My parents really wanted to instill the values of just love and discipline and respect to my sister and I. And, that's something that I'll always thank them for because, just in terms of meeting other people, if you just treat everyone the way that you'd want to be treated, it makes it a lot more, easy.
He was the first child in that school 52 years that will be accepted into kindergarten at the age of 4. So in his class, he was 4, and they had 5 and 6-year-old in the class.
For me, growing up, it was always kind of different because I was always like the tallest in the room, but like coincidentally, I'd always be the youngest person in the room too. So I always thought that was pretty cool growing up just because, just made myself feel smarter just because I'm younger than everyone, but I'm also still in the same class as them. But I mean, that's just me being a kid and all that, so.
This is the 77H apartment building complex, which is residential. And we've had over the years, sometimes, you get lucky and you can get as a student, maybe get one of those apartments that's facing the school or a family. And on game day, it's almost like Wrigley Field or one of those places where people, have the houses in the outfield and got flags and good purple coming from the rafters. So it's really, really cool. And then, of course, one of the big classic things that we have on campus, landmarks, is the clock tower that sits on top of St. Aloysius Church that I believe was the clock, the timing of the clock. The trains in Washington, D.C. ran on that clock during the Civil War, is what I understand. So 1821 was the first year of Gonzaga. So 203 or 4 years.
In the area, in the DMV area, if you say you're from Gonzaga, that name carries weight, and that's something that I've known like in middle school as well. I just remember telling my parents, just straight off of the shadow visit, I was like, this is the place I want to go to.
Gonzaga football program has a tremendous history and tradition. So the school was founded in 1821. We've been playing football for over 100 seasons. Being a part of the Gonzaga football program, I think, is being able to fulfill your potential and be the best that you can be for others. I think that's a strong thing that I think is at the core foundation of Gonzaga football. So Olu was not some sought-after young football recruit because he had not had any football experience and not played any football. I think Olu, we first engaged him, officially here on, we call the New Families Picnic, Welcome Picnic.
We went to Mass and we had the picnic, and the coach approached us saying that he should play football.
And Coach Simmons happened to be one of our coaches on our staff that had a chance to meet this young man, Olu Fashanu.
For me, I just decided to try it out. I kind of just thought about it as a way to condition myself for basketball, since basketball is in the winter, football's in the fall, and I was just like, let me just try it out. Luckily, that was probably the best decision I ever made. So
once Olu got into the program, it was just it was a great fit for the way he's wired and the way he's built, and the idea of teamwork and all those things, and then standard and expectations and challenge. Like Olu thrives on that.
I just embraced it. I knew that, like in this clip right here, like number 23 is a 5-star going to Georgia. And like even this clip, this guy is going to USC. Let me show you this clip. He was at Michigan. But just like knowing that was the level of competition that I was going against, I kind of just embraced it. I knew that at the end of the day, I was also going to be at that next level too. So just getting a jump on like the other guys in my position that, probably weren't as fortunate as me, being able to go against these guys week in and week out, definitely definitely, helped a lot.
Olu, early on, we knew that if he kept working, he was just going to go like this, and not like this, but man, he could go like that. And so with his intangibles, okay, because that's what makes him special, he's going to keep going like that, I believe.
Coach T put them through training that will last them a lifetime. From that point in their lifetime, they become men.
So I would say at the end of his sophomore year, going into his junior year, as it does for most, it clicks at that time, and he really grasped it, understood the game, understood how he had to move, understood how he had to work in the weight room to perform better on the field.
This is Olu's wired that if there's something in front of me, I want to do the best. I want to be the best. I want to be great at it. So that's how he attacks his academics when he was here. That's how he attacked his strength conditioning when he was here. That's how he attacked his football when he was here. That's an awesome thing when you're talking about a football player and a leader that you want in your program that's impacting other people.
He's literally built to pass set. He has great hips, huge hands. He slides very, very quickly light on his feet. And he's kept getting better, better, and better.
I just wanted to learn the game. It was something that I really enjoyed, and I knew at the time I was very raw and that I had a long way to go. And I've always just kept it pretty simple. If I'm ever doing anything, I want to make sure that I maximize it to the most.
And so Olu, you could just tell, as I'm coaching this guy, he had an inner competitiveness and a standard for himself that's super high. So you knew, man, this guy's just going to keep grinding to get better. There's a fire that's a little bit different.
Olu, he knows how to work. He's a very intelligent young man, and he understood that it's going to take hard work to get any type of results that you want, classroom or on the field. So, again, it was real easy for us as a staff to work with him. He was willing to work, he wanted to work, and obviously he came out on top, man.
All right, here we go. All right, so this photo here is from November 18, 2018. And there are 4 guys in the photo. As we see here, this is our center, one of our captains that year, Justice Johnson. Next to Justice is our left guard, Luke Pettibone. And then the guy in the back, that's Caleb Williams, number 18. And of course, the featured guy, the big JETS, Jet, is Olu Fashanu, right there, number 77. As he was rocking at the time, our left tackle. And this was a great night for Olu and his teammates and everybody in the Gonzaga community. Is maybe 2002 was the last time that Gonzaga had won the WCAC championship. So it'd been a while. And then just kind of the way in which it went down. So it was it's kind of one of those stories that's inspirational in terms of anything's possible, always believe type of thing.
Coach T were just putting the pieces together, and they finally clicked in the 2018 team. All the guys on the O-line, they went to a D1 school. So it was a very stacked team. So that 2018 team, we knew that this was the year.
But yeah, 2018, I think that was he was a part of the beginning. I would say it like that. He was part of the beginning of Coach Travers' era here.
The 2017 season, we were very close. So we knew, man, this 2018 team's got a chance. But we needed guys like Olu to really develop. So we came out that year like gangbusters. We had a national schedule, so we had some tough games to start off that season. And then we hit a rut, and we lost some close games, some tough games.
We would just lean on each other. Obviously not every guy is gonna, stay super positive, but all it takes is a simple conversation, just checking in on them, seeing how their mental is, and I think that's really what, took us over that mental slump during the season.
And I always told our guys, the greatest heroes are not the ones that are on top all the time. At some point, there's a fall, there's a challenge. And I think a great lesson for all of us is how do you get back up when you get knocked down? You know, who are you at the core? You know, that 2018 team got back up and took off when it came to how we performed in the playoffs.
You can't put a price tag on love and faith, and that's what we have at Gonzaga. One more thing, baby. We got one more to get.
It was amazing. We were at Catholic University. That's where the championship was held.
Welcome, everybody, to a chilly but very, very pleasant evening. Catholic University. We are proud to partner with the WCAC to bring you tonight's Capital Division Championship game between DeMatha Catholic Stags, Gonzaga College High School Purple Eagles.
Going into the championship, I felt like we had a pretty good week of practice. It was a bit crazy how we get on the field and at the end of the first quarter, we're down 20-0.
Hello to the catch, and he's gonna get into the end zone. Wow, he shed the tackler.
They were down 21-0. I couldn't take it. So I got up and I was walking around from 21-0, 21-7.
Quarterback keeper, haven't seen a signal yet. Hey, there it is. Gonzaga's on the board.
21-14.
Caleb with some time, ball in the air. He's got a man, and it is our man.
Wow, what a game.
So Paige called me and said, okay, wherever you are, stay there. Don't come back here. Just stay there.
We never quit. Coaches, I mean, at halftime, we almost really getting after each other, but the players themselves, they're showing a lot of grit and stayed even keeled. We got that one touchdown. We knew it was on after that.
Coming right at us, everybody. This is going to be a
First.
And it's going to be a pass back to Caleb Williams, who's got nobody. He backs into the end zone. Caleb Williams, touchdown.
Coach T gave us the fire we needed for the game. We never thought we were out of that game.
6 minutes and change, we were down 16 in the game.
36-21. You think that this game is even close to being over. Let me tell you something. You're mistaken.
And then took the lead for the first time with, I think, 27 seconds.
You got the same, and then you got him again. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Gonzaga puts the ball in the end zone. There's 29 seconds to go, and Gonzaga takes the lead.
Then lost the lead with 20 seconds.
He's going to get to midfield. He's going to make his way upfield. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's going.
I remember looking over at the clock. There's still like 12 or 13 seconds. I was like, all right, well, if we can get the ball to the 50, like, we'll still have a shot.
We were close by the student section. They were reciting Hail Mary. It was tense.
Caleb Williams looking for some magic.
Caleb said the exact same thing. I remember in the huddle telling us like this play is going to be a setup for the next play.
DeMatha rushing 4. Out of bounds inside the 50.
And here it is.
4 seconds to go. Now Caleb Williams has got the arm.
He does. Hey, at Catholic University, the Washington Catholic League, and here comes the Hail Mary.
I was just like, all right, whatever. Next play, just block forever.
When there's time on the clock in this world, there's any time on the clock, you got a chance.
Is God purple? We're about to find out. Ball's in the air, and it is going to get there. And somebody caught that. Did somebody catch that? Gonzaga, did they catch that? Touchdown, Gonzaga! The Gonzaga Purple Eagles win the WCC on a last-second touchdown pass.
I cannot believe it. That is the greatest high school football game.
The kids were like, they screaming, God is purple, God is purple. It was just a day that we never forget.
When you talk about legacy, something that endures, something that lasts. And, you know, Olu was a big part of that. He's a legend in, you know, Gonzaga athletics lore and really as just a proud alum. You know, there are a lot of people that look up to him and say, boy, that's the type of not only football player I'd like to be, but athlete I'd like to be, but really person. You know, Gonzaga, it's hard to hide if you're a really top-level prospect.
So I think my first offer was Rutgers, and it came in the middle of the season or a little bit earlier on in the season. I think it was like week 4 or something like that. Honestly, I was just super excited. I didn't think that, 2 years ago when I started playing football that I'd even be in a position to get a free education and play Division I football. So for myself, just to get that opportunity from Rutgers, it was awesome.
So Coach T called us and spoke to us about Olu, and, it says, get ready. It's going to be a floodgate. And it truly was.
I just know that once he got one, it was pretty much like a waterfall of other offers after that first one. We as a staff, we knew they were coming. And once that first one came, it was pretty much a wrap. After a month or so, he probably had almost everything he wanted.
I'm not sure how many offers I had, but I do remember that my top 3 was Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State.
The first game we went to, Penn State, it was so cold and it was rainy.
And as you can see on our radar, there's a lot of precipitation coming into State College. It's a wintry mix of snow and rain today as temperatures are around 30 degrees.
That was the day they offered him.
We were not prepared for State College. That was our first day. It was raining sleet. We were not well dressed, but we had to leave at halftime because we were not prepared for it.
This is a record-breaking year in terms of precipitation, and James Franklin told me they've been dealing with this all year long.
Penn State actually thought that we were not happy. So they called the next day. I said, we're good, but we're not just prepared for that weather that day. So that's why we had to leave.
The visits were always great to Penn State. They always took care of myself and my family. And lastly, they really just stressed academics a lot, which really meant a lot to my parents. So Penn State was a no-brainer for us.
Well, just quality family, quality people. They were a great fit for Penn State because here at Penn State, we're not just selling football, we're selling the entire experience. And that's why they also sent their son to Gonzaga, right? So all those things really aligned. Just great people that raised him the right way. And, he understands that he's a part of the bigger picture and wants to do everything he possibly can to help the organization, to help the team. Just great people, great family, great young man.
Thousands dream about it, hundreds talk about it, but few get to actually experience it.
James Franklin and Penn State are ready for signing day.
With the first pick in the 2020 National Signing Day Draft, Nittany Lions select from Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C., offensive lineman Olu Fashanu.
Honestly, no. I did not think that he would be, the 11th pick overall to the Jets. I just thought he had a lot of development to do and didn't know how fast it would take.
I feel like every person, every college athlete, or at least every college football player has a sort of like a hump that they need to get over. And I remember I had a really rough spring ball and things weren't really going well, but I just stayed consistent. I kept doing my routine, my daily routine, mobility, all that. I kept getting stronger in the weight room, staying after, working with the strength coaches, working with my teammates on the field. And eventually I had a really good sophomore camp. And that's when I fully got over that hump and I knew that I was on the right path.
Yeah, so he didn't play as a freshman. He wasn't even going to play at all as a sophomore. And going into that sophomore year bowl, right, where we had 15 practices, he was going to start at left tackle because my left tackle was gone and he was going to the draft. So I knew that it was his chance to possibly start and take that spot over. And during those practices, he was just dominating, just locking people out, using his power, driving his legs through contact. He was doing the things that he wasn't doing, his freshman year or even, quarter of a way through his sophomore year. So during that time, I knew that he was going to be a really good player.
So think about like the bowl game, I believe there's Outback Bowl.
And welcome to the Outback Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania on a gorgeous New Year's Day in Tampa, Florida.
You know, he played a ton and, you know, did some really, really good things against some good players. And so with the O-lineman, he wasn't having his name called and, oh, we got to help this guy in protection or anything like that. And you're like, okay, you know, for at his age, what he's doing, this guy can be a really big time player for us.
So I think Olu's just got tremendous strength and tremendous balance. So there's times where he's like caught out of position where they put a pretty good move on him and they kind of have the advantage. And he's able to use his strength and his footwork and his technique to get back into the dominant position, which is really hard to do against elite players. So I think that good-on-good competition of practice every single day was really important for Olu's development. And he just kept getting better and better.
I knew he was powerful. So I knew that he was super strong. I know that because of his grip, because he could always have his hands inside and use leverage. And you know, he had good footwork and he continued to work on that stuff. And but that's kind of what he did. He just outworked and just worked his butt off.
He's just been raised in a way he wants to be great in everything he does. And that showed up academically, that showed up athletically, that showed up obviously on the field, and he just kept getting better, just kept getting better, and just kept getting better.
This place is known as Olu's Shrine, and I put it in honor of what he has done. The two things actually that I'm so proud of him is right on this wall. That was, we all went to Vegas. He was a finalist for the Campbell Award, which is called the Academic Iceman. He was a finalist. Also, you know, in Penn State, he's the 102nd All-American. When he was going to Penn State, I never thought he was going to be an All-American. And here is it, that kid that was on some platform, he was a 2-star, on some it was a 3-star, and he ended up being 102nd All-American in Penn State football history. It's just awesome. And of course, this is helmet from Penn State. The real helmet he played with, and he stood here. So, and I love this picture against Ohio State. But unfortunately, he was injured in the fourth quarter. They were supposed to win that game, but it's Ohio State again. They lost. So he was injured. So he came out of the game, and we went to dinner that night, the three of us. And because the next day, we were supposed to meet with Coach Franklin to tell him whether he's staying or going.
We went to the restaurant and we talked about it. I think he already made up his mind that, Mom, Dad, I'm staying. I want to finish my education. I want to get my degree.
Probably one of the coolest meetings I've ever been to, because like I was getting ready to tell him, like, you need to go. You're going to be a top 20 pick. Like, this is life-changing money.
His family, I met with them and made my recommendations that he leaves early.
And we gave him the books. And so I was like, they're going to read this book and be like, I'm going. Like, when they see the money that he's projected. They didn't even open the book. They slid the books back and said, he's not leaving.
And Mom said, Coach, we appreciate your recommendation, but Olu has not graduated. Olu's got the highest GPA on the team in one of the best business schools in America, and he's coming back to school. So I was like, yes, ma'am.
Main reason why I decided to come back was I just wanted to graduate. You know, I spent the last 3 years in Penn State.
Oh, so proud of him. So proud of him, because most kids will not do that. Most kids will follow the money. If it was about the money, Olu won't even return to Penn State that year, because there was a lot of schools that were offering us ridiculous amount of money. But to us, to Olu, it wasn't about the money. We always think, stay in school, get your degree, and build a legacy that will last you a lifetime. If Olu goes back to State College today, he's loved by everybody. Not just because he came to Penn State, but most people will tell you that for him to come back, he's loved by a lot of people.
It was just a cool feeling because, you know, he had the right values and he wanted something, you know, a lot of people would have probably done the opposite. And it was just cool to see that he stuck with his initial goal, which was to just graduate with a great degree at Penn State.
For him as well, education is a priority. To have that degree, that's something to be proud of, you know. For him and for us as parents, it's something to be proud of.
That day itself, graduation, that's one of the best days of my life. For me to, you know, walk across the stage, I know obviously it meant a lot to me, but I knew it meant the world to my parents just because they sacrificed almost everything to get myself to that position. So for me to go out and achieve that for them, like it meant everything to me.
That's him and his sister.
Jets, Saints, and Cincinnati Thunder. So I have those. Immediately the draft started, I have a colleague gave me those 3 hats. I mean, his favorite picture out of this was when his teammates.
Oh, yeah, when they arrived.
You should see
his face.
You should see his face.
His face.
That's his coach, Coach Trout, all the boys on the O-line. Mm-hmm. They are all there with Drew.
Yeah, Nick, Tyler.
Yeah. Donko, and
Gabriel,
Tony Rojas.
Tony Rojas.
They were all there.
Yeah. It was a very special day. Yeah.
And I saw a clip on the NFL channel when they were talking about this year's draft. They were saying that, we are looking to see if anything is going to beat the Fashanus draft last year. I said, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. They're still talking about it.
He decided he didn't want to go to Detroit. He said, I want to be around my family and friends and people who were with me through this journey.
I tried my hardest just to keep it as normal as possible, but my heart was beating so hard for at least 5 hours during that day. It was pretty nerve-wracking.
Leading into the draft, it was 3 teams that his agent told us that it's either the Jets, the Saints, or Cincinnati. The 9th pick was in, the 10th pick was in. He told me that 11th pick, we should expect the Jets.
Oh my. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Olu.
Hey, what's going on?
What do you mean what's going on? We got you. You're a New York Jet.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
You're a great player. Everybody that interviewed you loved you.
It's crazy because my heart was beating fast. Then when I see that New Jersey number, it just calmed down immediately. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, let's do it.
So when he announced that it was the Jets and everybody erupted.
And to be a team that, he wanted, we're just blessed.
New York Jets.
To
be able to be with his entire family, house was packed. Not only his blood family, but then also a bunch of his teammates. And you're there to be a part of it. again, that's what it's all about.
We got to go to challenge. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
He's blessed to have a lot of people in his life that cares about him, prays for his success. I know we're always there for him. He and his sister talks a lot. He has a good group of friends. To think about the incredible guy he is, he has a very good heart. I'm just so proud of him, proud to be his parent, proud to be mom. People look back and just see that big, giant boy with a baby face. And just know that he's just very caring.
I think Fashanu has a chance to be a top 3 to 5 pass protector in the league.
This kid's so damn good. I mean, they just don't move like Olu Fashanu does.
There's no hill that is too big for you that you cannot climb. Because if somebody that hasn't played football all his life until he gets to high school can be in the NFL today, then what can't you do?
Olu's a guy who did it the right way all along. From the first day he stepped into the doors at Penn State to when he left, you're super proud and excited for his future because you know he's going to continue to do things the right way.
You know, hopefully he does play many, many years in that league and then has an opportunity to wear the jacket one day. At the end of the day, if he's standing there 15 years from now on a stage, like I think everybody that's listening that knows Olu, that's been a part of his journey at some point, they would not be shocked, would not be surprised that he's here because he's like that.
The game of football has done so much for my life, for my family's life, and, you know, Jets specifically, you know, literally changed my life. So I want people to look back at my career, how it went, all the years, and just say that I was a winner.
To be able to see the entire journey, right? Watch them develop and grow as students, as young men, as football players, as sons and brothers. To me, that's what it's all about.
You know, just thinking about my dad and all he's done in his life, then my grandfather and all he's done in his life. I mean, that if you're not prideful about that, I mean, I don't know what else you can have pride about. This year being this first year ever in my life that I actually like playing with my last name on the back of my jersey, just because Gonzaga and Penn State didn't do that. It was definitely like like you said, just an overwhelming sense of pride.
The only thing that comes to my mind is to just thank God. The very first time we ran out of that tunnel, I have tears in my eyes because I couldn't believe that my son is among those guys that are running out of that tunnel. When he was growing up, if you were to tell me that, I would say you are crazy. It's nothing that I did. It's nothing that the story that Paige did is just Olu's toughness, his work habit to get himself ready for that moment. He busted his ass, so it was just by his hard work and by the grace of God.